Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news and updates. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some potential trade targets for the Chicago Bulls. Billy Donovan talks about why the Bulls have been quiet on the trade market for the past offseason and to start this NBA season, and also talking about Coby White's recent play and just his future with the Chicago Bulls. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, leave a quick like below today's video. It only takes a second and it helps me out a lot. And leave some comments and questions below today's video about all the trade targets and all the news and updates I'm about to jump into. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it, because in my eyes, the Chicago Bulls are finally starting to play better basketball. But at the end of the day, I still do believe this Bulls team needs to add one more player to really take them to that next level. Now, this article did come out from Sports Illustrated, and they did list 3 potential trade targets for the Chicago Bulls to consider before this season's NBA trade deadline. And like I did say earlier in today's video, for so far this NBA season, the Bulls have definitely had their moments. You know, they picked up some very impressive wins over the Miami Heat, the Bucks, and the Boston Celtics, but they've also been very inconsistent and had some low moments, like losing at home to the Magic and on the road to the Spurs. There's definitely a lot of talent on the NBA trade market. I saw a bunch of NBA insiders saying how trades can go down earlier this season just because teams are kind of struggling right now, but the Bulls, in my eyes, definitely need to make a move. Now, before I jump into these 3 potential trade targets, leave some comments below today's video who you guys think the Bulls should target on the trade market. I really think they need to at least make one mid-season move. And the first player they did list and connect to the Chicago Bulls, of course, was Jae Crowder. You know, his whole situation I've talked in past videos, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But him and the Suns have had some issues. He hasn't played this whole season, and let me just say, the Bulls are already kind of deep at the wing position, but Jae Crowder would obviously be a huge pickup. I mean, he's a veteran player with NBA Finals experience. He could really help tighten up the Bulls' offense and defense on both sides of the floor. He's also always been a solid three-point shooting threat off the ball. And you know what you're getting with Crowder. You just know he's a tough veteran. He's got that dog in him. He's just going to help out on the defense and just be active. And don't get me wrong, Patrick Williams has played better, and the Bulls are still letting him develop. But I do believe this Bulls team needs some more three-point shooting, and just another nice veteran would definitely help out. And then after Jae Crowder, they did list Kelly Oubre Jr. as a potential trade target. And in my eyes, I believe he would be an amazing addition. I mean, Kelly Oubre is a walking bucket. Obviously, the Hornets have started off this NBA season really slow, especially with the Miles Bridges news, and then LaMelo Ball dealing with a few injuries. And as a result of them kind of just being bad to start this season, many around the league are expecting them to be big sellers at the NBA trade deadline, putting guys like Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre Jr. on the NBA trade block. And if the Bulls can get Kelly Oubre Jr., I would be down. I mean, he's had an amazing season with the Hornets this year. He is averaging 19 points per game, which is a career high. He has shown improvements as a playmaker, attacking the rim, and his ability to play off the ball. He's always been a really good spot-up three-point shooter, and I feel like he'd be a great addition to this Bulls roster. I mean, I think we all know this Bulls team is very talented, especially on the offensive side of the basketball, but to start this NBA season, the Bulls' defensive rating has been much better than the offensive rating, which is very shocking given that the Bulls' 3 All-Stars are all offensive-minded. And especially coming off the Bulls bench, you know, their bench has been pretty good to start this season, but it's not the best bench scoring unit in the league. And I believe Kelly Oubre could honestly start over Patrick Williams or come off the bench and just be a guy that can play anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes starting or coming off the bench. And I feel like he'd just be that amazing 3rd or 4th option every game that the Bulls are sometimes missing. Obviously, he's very athletic, and putting him next to Zach LaVine would be deadly. I would love if the Bulls could get Kelly Oubre Jr. And the final target that Sports Illustrated did link to the Chicago Bulls is Will Barton. You know, I'm not going to talk too much on Will Barton just because I don't believe he's a great addition. I mean, this past offseason, the Wizards made some big moves. He really hasn't been playing that much on the Wizards team. And to keep it short and simple, I feel like the Bulls just don't need another scoring shooting guard like him. I'd rather have like a small forward that can play the small forward position and power forward position like Jae Crowder or Kelly Oubre. I mean, Will Barton, he is a solid three-point shooter. He shot about 35% on his career, but I just like the other 2 options more. Leave some comments and questions below today's video about those potential trade options. And talking about some more trade talk going on around the NBA, many NBA people thought the Bulls would be more active in the trade market this past offseason, and they just needed to do more. Billy Donovan recently talked to Heavy on Sports about why the Bulls were quiet this past offseason and to start this NBA season. And to keep it short and simple, there's many people that have said this Bulls team is just an easy first round exit. And Billy Donovan did say this past offseason, I really felt after sitting down and talking to the front office that the hard part was we never really saw our team really hold together for a long period of time. I think the feeling was, hopefully we could get healthy and see what this group looks like. And the Bulls front office and Billy Donovan have been saying this for months now, and I do understand, but at the end of the day, this Bulls team is still not healthy. Who knows when Lonzo Ball is coming back, and you just can't keep waiting and waiting. At some point, this Bulls team is going to need to make a big move or a minor move. I don't know. Billy Donovan's gotten a lot of hate to start this NBA season. I just hope the Bulls do something around the trade deadline, and hopefully Lonzo Ball can come back. And the final topic I wanted to talk about in today's video is on Coby White and just his future with the Chicago Bulls. I feel like this is a topic that I've talked about a few times for the past year or so, but the whole Coby White situation with the Chicago Bulls has honestly been a mess. To start this NBA season, he's been in and out of the rotation. He's been dealing with an injury for the Bulls like the past 8 to 10 games. Obviously, versus the Bucks just the other day, I believe he won that game. He came off the Bulls bench, played 25 minutes, hit a few three-pointers, put up 14 points off the bench, and just was active on the defensive side of the basketball. Now, I feel like a lot of NBA fans and Bulls fans tend to forget Coby's only 22 years old. He is a 6'4" point guard or shooting guard. And at the end of the day, I feel like when you think of Coby White, it's really easy to just say trade him and try and, get him off the roster because this Bulls team is very guard heavy. But the Chicago Bulls have already explored that road many times, and they have not liked what they've seen in return. In my eyes, I'm down for a Coby White extension with the Chicago Bulls. He provides something that this Bulls team needs desperately, and that's three-point shooting. Now, the only bad thing, Coby White, other than he's dealing with some injuries, and he's honestly kind of had this little injury bug for the past few seasons. But the one thing that I do know, you could look at his stats this season. They're not really impressive. Like I said, he's been dealing with an injury. His minutes have been up and down, and his three-point shooting has only been about 31%, which is very low for him. His career average from three is 36, and especially last year, he did finish the year shooting 39% from three-point range. Now, in my eyes, I'm all for Coby White trade to improve this roster, or if the Chicago Bulls do decide to go the other route and extend him. Like I said, we all know what Coby White is. Now, I don't believe he's going to get that much better, but he could be a walking bucket for the Chicago Bulls off the bench for a very long time in my eyes. And I honestly feel bad for Coby White. I feel like the Bulls haven't helped his case. They've had him coming off the bench, starting, playing the point guard position, learning the point guard position, then learning the shooting guard position, playing off ball. He's been all over the place. Leave some comments and questions below today's video. Your thoughts and opinions on Coby White's future with the Bulls. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.